Hello everyone, my name is Oskar Lagerosen. I'm the founder of The Total Living. Today is Friday, which means ask me anything. I will answer 4 of the questions that you sent in. If you want to submit a question here, please visit the form that will link in the description and show notes. And you can remain anonymous if you want to. And these answers are quite short and condensed, but the questions that you send in will be the basis for future blog posts where I answer your questions more thoroughly. So first question by Sunny. How to manage emotions by avoiding irritation? The key to avoiding irritation is first to notice the emotions. And here, non-stop capturing is particularly helpful since you can offload every thought you have on a piece of paper and similar. You write down statements such as, I should have X, I do not deserve it, or why does it happen to me every time? And why is this person such a, insert whatever you want to call them. Then just like cognitive behavior therapy, you can respond to these thoughts if you feel like you need to at the moment. The mindset shift essential to adopt is that you are not your emotions. You have emotions. Emotions can come and go, and you observe them just like the weather. The ancient philosophy of Stoicism states that you cannot control everything that happens around you, but you can always control how you respond. By acknowledging the emotions, like acceptance and commitment therapy is based on, they lose power over you, and you can start acting accordingly. But of course, it's easier said than done, so practice and patience makes perfect, and you will be able to handle this over time. And if you do non-stop capturing every time you feel irritation, if you have the reflex to just like start writing every time you feel like you're a little bit on edge, it will be much easier to handle the situation. Next question, also from Sanim. How to handle regrets? And it's a very good question because I also have struggled with the regrets in the past. And what has helped for me is to view regrets as lessons. Seeing regrets as signs that you have learned something and paying attention to the signals. And that will help me in the present and future. And the regrets can be as fuel for doing the absolute best thing right now. So you can always like remind yourself of the thing that you wish that you haven't or had done. And from that, decided, okay, now is a much better time than before. And now I can truly have this as some kind of motivation to do the absolute best. And I know that it's very easy to call a particular action non-action or time wasted, but it's actually not wasted because you have learned anything afterwards. And moreover, you know and have experienced it on the shadow side. So therefore, you are much more effective at helping others struggling with the same experience that you've gone through because you have done the same journey. You understand them better. And finally, I'll link a paper in the article that argues that self-compassion is the way to stop criticizing yourself truly. Using non-stop capturing and journaling and entire one glance system makes the process much easier. See yourself as noble for going through the events, and you can always gain from everything. So next question from Anonymous. How do I manage all I do in the same time? And yeah, it's true. I do have a lot on my plate and juggling around, but thanks to the one glance methodology, I can maximize my waking hours and get many important things done every day. But I'm only doing one thing at a time, fully in the present moment, and then switching to next thing after a thorough exit. And part 25 in the one glance series will show how it feels to use the one glance system and how it looks in practice. So you'll know like, okay, how is the optimal situation like? But I will try to explain shortly now how it like feels all the time for me, So Think of what you see now, what you hear now, and what you feel now is the only thing that exists for you. No past, no future, no other people, no other society, stuff like that. Just here and now. And this kind of shielded being, you look at the calendar to know what's coming up next every time. And the timer helps you keep track of the time and reminds you when the session is over. And then you can just fully immerse yourself in the activity. And it can be everything from work to social meeting and nap and stuff like that. And after 5 minutes of cleaning up everything at the end, preparing for just falling into the activity next time, it has to be that easy to start. You check your calendar again and repeat. So it's very simple, but it has huge implications in both the quality and the peace of mind, as well as energy, to just have everything, just have one thing to think of. You capture down every reoccurring thought that does not belong to the activity in your capture tool. And if you feel like you need to change your schedule for the day, you do it and then continue. Last question from Jonathan. Do you think that every personality type have the same ability and chance to be as effective and to find total presence in the moment? And the short answer is yes. I think everyone is equally able to find it. The longer answer is that every personality type will have struggles that could rob them in the present moment, but they can still manage it. And I will elaborate on it in a future blog series, how the one glance methodology can be used for all the personality types. And I'm using Big Five here because, I'm particularly fond of that more scientific way of measuring personalities and people. And it's very helpful to know like which one is more, for instance, like extrovert and open, or introvert and not particularly open. So you can always adjust yourself to make the others more heard and understood. So I will just mention some kind of struggles that every personality type, if they're on extreme or not extreme, have, because very open and creative people tend to want things all the time and think like the grass is always greener on the other side. So they are more likely to like task switch and do something else because they feel like, oh, maybe this one is like more interesting instead. And then we also have extroverts and introverts, and they can feel a sense of energy depletion. For instance, like if extroverts are more alone, then it's not really the best thing. And also if introverts are like in a very social setting, it's also takes some energy. And highly agreeable and highly disagreeable people are more sensitive to the politics behind the tasks assigned, because it's all about like keeping either the group harmony or their own individual rights. And lastly, people with high neuroticism need to pay special importance to non-stop capturing and maintaining the one glance system in order to feel secure. So for those of you who have a high neuroticism, you really need to capture every negative thought, because as you know, you have a lot of them, and that makes you very good, because you can like identify threats before it's like too late. So you should use that in order to like deal with situations effectively, to be on the more safe side. And you might think that the conscientious types would have the easiest time getting to the present moment, since they are like naturally good at following schedules and instructions and having the grit and everything. But it's a double-edged sword, because highly conscientious people like me are also wondering if what they are doing right now is the best thing that they can do. So like thinking like, oh, maybe I should do that instead, maybe not. It presents a simultaneous situation of like both determination and rumination that they have to cope with. So there are both benefits and disadvantages of being highly conscientious. The strategic element of the one glance system will help everyone get in the present moment, because everyone has different goals and visions, and it's easier to see in perspective and why you're doing a particular thing in the long game, then it's easier to motivate yourself if you find yourself in a suboptimal situations. For instance, if extroverts are alone or introverts in a social gathering, if they have in mind like why they're doing it and that it's going to lead them to a particular goal. For instance, extroverts might have the goal of being with people all the time, and introverts might have the goal of being in a very tropical island all the time, having no one to attend to. These are just extremes, but you know what I mean. Then if you have like the vision in mind, then it's easier to do whatever you need to do at the moment, regardless if it's suboptimal or not, to really follow through the vision. And more about the strategic element of One Glance next week. And that was everything for this week. If you like the answers, please share them with your friends if they have the same questions. And I will answer more questions next Friday. So please fill out the form linked in the show notes in the description if you want to submit the question. It takes around 20 seconds. And with that, I want to say thank you very much for your attention and have a very nice day. See you in the next one.